ومرحبا بكم في برنامج Sundown على آي راديو. في البرنامج ده بنستضيف شخصيات بارزة ومؤثرة من جنوب السودان ومن حول العالم، وبنتحدث معهم عن القضايا اللي بتهم بلدنا وبتأثر على حياتنا. كمان بنتطرق في القصص خلف الأخبار وبنتبادل الأحاديث الخفيفة عن حياتنا اليومية. شاركونا، كونوا جزء من البرنامج فقط على آي راديو، عينك على جنوب السودان.
Hello and welcome to the Sundown Show on I Radio with me, Madrama James, together with Obacho Kushagawa, the producer of this show, Darlington Moses, behind the social media coverage. Today, we kickstart the show right here in Juba with the South Sudan National Bureau of Standards, which has ordered the immediate halt of distributions of a batch of Nashel baby formula following a global recall over safety concerns. To shed more light on this, I'm joined live in the studio by Honorable Gloria Nyoka Joseph, the Executive Director of South Sudan National Bureau of Standards. Good to have you and Happy New Year.
Thank you and Happy New Year too. Thanks for iRadio for hosting me today.
Thank you very much for accepting our invitation. To kickstart with, tell us as to why the National Bureau of Standards have taken the initiative to halt that's the distribution of the baby formula.
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, South Sudan National Bureau mandate is to make sure that there is safety for consumers. Not only in South Sudan, but whoever in South Sudan has to be safe, and even outside South Sudan, because when we produce products also that is going out, also it has to be safe. So the reason that the Bureau come out with the notification to the consumers and to the traders who are importing or the retailers is to tell people that there is this product of the milk with the indicated batch. Of course, in our notification, we have put the batch of that milk, which the company itself at the country of origin has realized that there is a contamination on that specific batch. So they had to even recall it, and after recalling it, they had to do a lot to all those who are to all their suppliers, because it is a big country in Europe, Nestle, and this took a concern of all the institutions that are concerned about the safety of human consumption, which included Ministry of Health, National Bureau of Standards, Drugs and Food Authority. This is in our case, but also in the other countries the same thing is going on. And also we have the body of codex, which is concerned also about food safety, and the alert actually come first even to them, and also they alerted all the stakeholders all around the world. It is not something that it is only in South Sudan. It is all over, not even in East Africa only, but it is all over the world, whoever is consuming the Nestle products for the children.
Now, let's talk about this baby formula. We learned that there was a committee dispatched by the Bureau of Standards to check out what's really inside our market. What was their finding? Ligo product the Fifi Su Welela.
Up to now, because the Bureau is doing verification at the border and also at the markets inside, up to now we did not find any. But let me also assure you that we as Bureau are not working alone. I don't want to also take that the Drugs and Food Authority, actually this is a formula which is for special needs, and any formula or any product that is for special needs always is taking mostly the concern of Drugs and Food Authority. And I think also even them, they have a circulation about it, even they did the circulation before us, but the Bureau took also the initiative, because also it is our concern for the safety. This is why we did the notice. Up to now we did not find it in the market, but it is a concern for us to alert. Meanwhile, we are also doing the inspection and seeing if in case we find it, we have to recall it. But the notification come also to tell the traders that it is good to be honest also, in case you check the products, if that batch is there, it is also important for you really to take the responsibility to make sure you are recalling it back.
One of the parents raised a concern after his daughter took, the baby formula. And as per now, the baby is even seeking a medical attention in Nairobi, Kenya. But now the big question is, we have a joint border security committee. And how are some of these products getting into the country? Imagine some of these products are coming from Ethiopia, Kenya, Uganda, up to South Sudan.
What happened is this, as human beings, we always think that everything is accurate 100%. When products come, product can get them in hudud. Products can get them in hudud. We have our people who are doing verification. There are some institutions, of course, at the border, they do verification. And we have standards and procedures of doing the verification because, as I said, there are these companies who are big and are known for many years, and they make sure that they are also doing the control. So when we do the verification, even at the border, we have what is called pre-verification, which is verified at the country of the origin. We have assigned some of the third party to do that, which is done all over the world. It is a process, a procedure that is done all over the world, and it is agreed by the World Trade Organization in one of its sections there. So they do the inspection, and then also they alert us, and we also verify, checking with the company, make sure there is a certificate of analysis from the company, make sure there is this procedures all taken, and then it tells us, okay, this product is okay, and then it comes in. But a good producer that knows that customer care is a concern, they have also in each company there is what is called quality control, even in each company. So they usually have experts also that can do, and it is for some of the reason, maybe something went wrong when they are producing the thing, and they will immediately go back and find that they went back and they found that in that specific batch there is a problem. So this is why they did that a lot, so that in case it went out, so that people has to put it now. It could be that even this batch did not reach South Sudan, or this batch did not reach another country, but it is good for them to do the alert. And then when they did the alert, they did it globally, and also now the concerned institution took it upon themselves that, okay, we have to do this alert so that it's ready. So we were not saying, because this is why if you see from the notification of the Bureau, and I don't know if you went through the notification even of the Drugs and Food Authority of South Sudan, they have also put the batch number. Because in a day, a company can produce many batch numbers, but it is a specific batch number. So that is why we are saying, even if the parents is going to buy, Lebende, please try to iron batch number there in case. But the truth is, even it could be that this batch number did not come here. The idea is sometimes some people will think like because it is non milk, and then they will assume it is all of them. But from here, I just want to say that it is not all the non products, or the non products, but from the products of non, it is a specific batch which is indicated in our notification and in the notification of the Drugs and Food Authority. And for those who are also following the social media, they can even see the circulation from the other bureaus within the East Africa for the same batch number, even around the world.
It's still on contaminated items. This is not the first time National Bureau of Standards is intercepting some of these unsafe products at the border point. But the issue is, why only South Sudan? Yet we have a lot of machines that can detect some of these unsafe product in Uganda, in Kenya, but sometimes they are identified in Nimule. Does it mean there's a loophole in this system, or what's happening?
It is not only South Sudan, sincerely, let me tell you, it is not only South Sudan that is intercepting this, but the issue is, tijara, business is business, and mostly the reason we are doing this, the testing, is because we actually need to make sure that the product coming in is safe. We have MOUs with the other standards, and usually they make sure that when the product is going to another country, it has to be safe, so that also there is no problem between the two countries and all this. But some people will usually choose to just go buy something in the market without any procedures when it reaches Nimule. And when we are doing the inspection, this is where these things arise, and this is why we resend or re-export these products back, or sometimes we destroy it. In all cases, it is a two options for the trader: either to re-export it or either to be destroyed, and we give him a letter telling him that these things are not good, so that he can go and claim his money, because maybe the company did not take the right procedures during the production. And usually some technical errors happen. We are not saying we allow it to happen. It can happen without the notice, but again, we are like cross-checking and making sure that it is safe.
We learned that after even identifying some of these unsafe products, they are taken back to some of these East African countries to repackage and bring back to South Sudan. Now, in such a situation, what are some of the alternatives to make sure that unsafe for human consumption? Now,
أنا بس داير أقول كده Bureau of Standard كان في South Sudan ولا في أي دولة تاني, it is the same Bureau of Standards. You know, remember also, like as South Sudan, إحنا member في ESC, Standard Secretariat at the level of ESC, and we have the SQMT Act, which is binding us all the countries at the level of the partner states, and that SQMT is the same SQMT for all the standard, metrology, quality, and testing. Actually, this is why it's called SQMT. And all the protocols concerning anything to do the standard is the same use in the state. So when we reject a consignment, the problem is we can assume that yes, maybe they, you know, Zol al Maindu Demir, someone who really doesn't care, maybe they can do this. But usually when we are doing re-export of something that is bad, because there is a protocol, we do writing and we give it to our security, and our security also will take this consignment, hand it up to the security on the other side of the border, and also we send alert to the National Bureau of Standard of that we have found this consignment and we have rejected it. This is why it's going back. So they take it back to the suppliers, and this is why always we keep doing verification and we keep doing testing, unless if it is a smuggle. But if it is a smuggle, you know, when you once you say it is a smuggle, tahrib, that means this is something taken without the eye of people seeing it. This is where we cannot know what happened. But what I know, we don't work alone. Also, there is also anti-smuggle, which is responsible for those. And this is where sometimes even we intercept some of them when it is inside here that they were smuggled. But if we found it, or maybe the other security organs who are responsible found it, again we have to take the legal procedures against them. But it is a protocol that the trader is two options. Either we reject it to the country of export, it goes back, so that you give it to the supplier and you claim your expenses, or we also destroy it in your presence. It is a committee, of course. When we destroy it, committee has to be there, and we write our report, give it a letter to you, so that you also go and claim back your expenses. Otherwise, it is not allowed actually to be repacked, something which is bad, unless it is done in a way that is not illegal.
Now, what is the National Bureau of Standard doing to make sure that some of these other entry points of South Sudan are equally citizens that in these locations are protected? Indina nas fi Nadapal, indina nas fi Rang, indina nas barru kaman fi hudud bita junub ma Congo, Sudan barru kaman.
Yeah, the bureau actually is to be in all the 10 state and 3 administrative area, despite the challenges that the resources to open all our offices, but at least we are covering some of it. This is why sometimes we also do campaigns, like we send people to do campaigns. But we are in Kaya, we have an office in Kaya, we have office in Nadapal, and we have office in Torit, and in in Reng also we have an office in Melakal, and in Abyei. And we are working hard to make sure that all the 10 states and the 3 administrative areas are covered, not only for the conformity assessment of the product coming or going, but also for the issues to do with weight and measures also. And it is our responsibility to make sure that this is happening. And always we do, like sometimes, for example, we don't have an office in Yei, but we can send people to do campaign, or an office in Awil, but we can send people to do inspection campaign. But we are working together with the state's authorities on how can we really show that, so that we make sure that we're having offices in all these places, because it is not about only one state or about a city, but it is about the safety, especially the borders where things are coming from. Talking
about these offices in different locations, do they really have the capacity to detect some of these unsafe food?
As much as Bureau is a regulatory institution that is assigned by the government, again the government has to make sure that people who will be working there have the capacity, because at the end of the day there is a employment through the public service. There are all these, they have to be people with capacity, and again the capacity building continues. It doesn't stop, especially with the Bureau. I have worked in the Bureau since 2006. Let me say so. I started when it was SMO in Sudan previously, and then I continued here. But the same knowledge that I got all this time up to now, I think even some of the things I will need again another capacity building. So we continue to do the capacity building for our staffs, for any new technology that is coming in. Yeah.
Now, what are some of really the biggest challenges facing the institution in the country?
The biggest challenges that is facing the institution in the country, one of it first is that up to now in South Sudan, most of the people really doesn't know what the Bureau is all about. The Bureau is not all about only food. It is all about everything that to be saved, that to be consumed. And when we talk about consumption, we do consume food and non-food items or products. This is one of the challenge, and we are trying hard, and I really appreciate the media. At least they are helping us on that, because when we come to a show like this, we are telling people, I'm sure there are people getting some of the information about the Bureau. This is one of the challenges. The other challenge is also is that we really need to reach all the states and all the administrative area, because we are producing also. So we also want to encourage our people to produce, so that they will also export outside. We don't want to be only importing, because this is where actually we are not having we are not enhancing our economy. But when we start producing and make sure that it is also produced according to standards, it also helps. The other thing, distributing the standard itself, when it is written in all these languages, English or Arabic, and the Bureau is also looking on how to simplify the standard itself for some of our people, especially the producers. You can find Zoltan Magyagara, Kulukulu wala English wala Arabi, but he has to use the standard. But we are looking on ways also in if we simplify that to them. The other thing is the financial challenges, which is all over, but we hope everything will be okay and we will reach where we really need to reach as the standards.
Now, the institution issued, the halt of distribution of this specific batch for that Sanan. Now, how are some of your workmates going to enforce this? Taban fi mushkila kaman, the incentive, some of them are not receiving their incentive regularly. Who kaman zola aljian bagber ligo iya haja shan istafidu wakel bobe.
Sincerely, if someone is going to take money from that kind of fund, it is illegal. We cannot allow that. But because it is their job, when you're doing the inspection, it has a radio miraya. Your job is to make sure that you're doing in iRadio, sorry, and you are making sure that you're doing the interview at time. You are putting things, unless if you are not doing it, and then muhasaba bukunfi and all those things. I don't assume aya haja is me they might kill him, but it is really illegal that you go ahead and take money from those people. And the people who go for inspection, usually they go as a team. And another thing, this team that goes for inspection, sincerely, it is not only the bureau staff. As I said, we don't work alone. We work with other stakeholders like the economic division, because it is important also to work with us. We have the protection police, we have the CID with us, so they go as a team. So in case that someone did something that is not acceptable, unless maybe we have to keep them accounted for it, because this is about health. I have children, my sister have children, someone has children, and if we compromise with it, that means we are really compromised with ourselves even first, because we are all consumers.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, what really happens to some of the individuals or your colleague that would allow bribed, and at the same time companies, just apart from maybe intercepting some of these unsafe goods or destroying them, what kind of other punishment do some of these companies
usually in our act, it is allowed for us to open case for them, and when we open case, of course the legal advisor now and the legal part take its place. They have to be having their punishment, and it depends on
finance garamu
anna rofudu kaman mush bes garamu hatta staff zatu, yani if we find that you did that, so no way, because it is about life. Intaarifina za dakatra, we are like doctors. Ita mama kinta buramula amelia ka puzolbu mutu beghalat, unless it is really his death, his day, that khalas wa haimut da hayapita insan.
All right.
Yeah.
Dear listener, let's have a quick break. When we come back, that's when we shall take a look at what's really in place to make sure that this order is enforced after this.
For news and the music, keep it
Indeed, iRadio, welcome back from that break. Even in case you have just joined us, you're listening to the Sundown Show on iRadio with me, Madrama James, and I'm privileged to be joined live in the studio by Honorable Gloria Nyoka Joseph, Executive Director at the South Sudan National Bureau of Standard. And we are discussing about the move taken by the institution to halt the distribution of a batch of national baby formula following a global recall over safety concern. If you have a question or comment via our Facebook page, do that, and we would like to know taban khalas fi qarar min institution baade tenfiz bita qarar biyabda miten وبعملوش عشان كيف نودي فرصة برضو للمستمعين.
Actually تنفيذ القرار ده بدأ من يوم القرار ده طلع even قبله. As I said, ده ما شغل تبيرو براو. ده شغل بتبيرو, especially Drugs and Food Authority, and we are glad that even Drug and Food Authority, they came out with the order since last week on Friday. So it is not individual work of the bureau, it is a collective responsibility for all of us. So we have put that notice, and we put it on the let me say the mass media, some of the newspapers, and also houses like the iRadio. Also we saw how you have put it, and then we are working together with the other stakeholders, as I said, like the economic division, the CID. We are doing inspections in the market, and also we have talked with Drugs and Food Authority, because when it comes to the issue of pharmacies, and this way also to work together and make sure and alert also the pharmacies also to keep looking, and some of the shops or supermarkets, this is under our jurisdiction to do the inspection. But as I said, it is really a collective responsibility and also personal responsibility. Zo lazim yarif da haja indo ilaka besa habita insan. So huwa bada والناس قاعدين يعملوا inspection. In case we find it, إحنا بنشيل الحاجات دي بنشيلوا الحاجات دي, and then we see what are the other procedures that have to be taken. And the people are looking on also how to make sure that always when something happen like that, we have really to inform our people in the public, so that, because we can say we just do inspection without informing, which is not all. Maybe some people will think like this is a special food under Food and Drugs, why Bureau is coming in, but actually Bureau, there are many institutions in the country that are concerned about food safety, which when it comes to issue of food safety, Minister of Agriculture, Livestock, the Bureau, and then Drugs and Food Authority and Minister of Health, and those all. But there's no way that one institution will work alone. So all of us are working together, especially with Food and Drugs. And actually, Food and Drugs Authority even is the chair of the of the Codex Committee, National Codex Committee of South Sudan. Food and Drugs is the Drugs and Food Authority is the chair, and the Bureau is the secretary. And at the end of the day, that body discuss issues to do with food safety.
نعم. وستفاصات ظروف الكمان بارو في داخل جنوب السودان بيتاب اتم قاعد بعمل شناشان كيف موضوع بتاع smuggling في border كمان مشكلة دي سادرس.
يا احنا لما كان نقول سو كلام تا smuggling. Actually, for South Sudan, for body really responsible about smuggling, which is called anti-smuggling, and because as I said, Logate Gul Kalambita smuggling, someone cannot smuggle something when you are seeing. And sometimes the smuggling happens at night, sometimes the smuggling happens the other way. This is why the organized forces like anti-smuggling comes in also. The good thing when they always intercept something like smuggling, they make sure that those people, if it is something to do with the food stuff, we have to do inspection. Even why did you smuggle? But at the end of the day, they have to go through the legal procedures to be punished for it, so that they cannot do it again. Because people can smuggle things for many reasons. It could be reasons of taxes. It could be reason they know that what they are bringing is not good. But we are not working alone. We are working together with the anti-smuggling.
Via our Facebook page, we have Atol Foku joins us live from Juba Town. Thank you so much, Ustaz Atol Foku. And then a question coming in from Francis John Andriano. He wants to know whether the institution Bureau of Standard only exists at Nimule only or some other places. I think he has just joined us. Welcome.
Okay. The Bureau of Standard is not only in Nimule. Nimule is the main border, as we see everything mostly is coming through Nimule. But Bureau of Standard is in Nadapal, as I said. We are also in Kaya border. We are in Reng, including some offices like in Malakal, in Wau, in Torit, as I said, and in Awil.
Now,
and in Abye.
Now, Anthony wants to know, in a situation where Bureau of Standard is not in that particular place, whether CIDs are allowed also to check foods from shop to shop and inspect them, or even collect money.
No.
Thank you. It's a high time now for you to grab that cell phone and dial our studio line after this.
Baghdad Diamond Wenisuma iRadio ala numrata telefon 0911-986-986 au itapi reselo risala ala numra 0913-986-986.
Na kuna والمخالمة هاي راديو.
Hello, Radio.
نعم.
Madrama James.
Sultan Joseph.
Yes, I am Sultan Joseph.
مرحب.
أنا باهي Madrama James وأنا باهي بلورة نيوكا جوزيف. I salute her. وأنا عبر بلورة أنا باهي وانا ريكوردون.
Oh yeah, شكرا.
كان ما تقال أول ده.
Yeah, شكرا.
أنا بقول يا جلورا أنا كنت كايز الزمن ده كله كان نسمع صوت
شكرا
يا جد بتاع السندر ده.
شكرا.
لما أنا كان مشيت مكتبك يوم لا 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 جلورا ما في أنا رجع أنا كان أريد نفس معلومات اللي وأنا ذاتها مع ولدي مدرب جيمس ده.
أوكي.
أقوم بتاع مرة وأقوم قوي.
شكرا.
دائما أنا أبريشيت رئيس بدانا كان يعين النسوان في سندا.
شكرا.
كويس. اللي هو المواصفات والمكاين بالعربي مو
يا هو
المواصفات والمكاين. ده معلم مهم جدا جدا. كويس. انا بمسك كلام بتاع الناس اللي بكشف المواد الكعب اسفاير ثينج. دي مسؤوليه بتاعكم يا جلوريا.
كويس.
طيب هسه ده في السوق كل وقت دقيق كعب الزيت فاير وياتو سكر والوداوات. من يا مسؤول منه يا بنتي ما انت تكون. غير واحد ما بيتفق. انا اعرفه في البيت البتال اللي هو قوات ذات نظاميه ما يسمى CID ذات وياتو. بلد بتاعنا ده في وجود ما في مراقبه صحيح يا جلورا. ما في مراقبه صحيح. لو في مراقبه صحيح طبعا انت بقوة المكتب. لكن دول القاعد في وجود ده عسكري. عسكري ده ما بودي واجب بتوع في صورة كويس يا جلوريا.
اوكي.
طيب نحن دايرين الحقائق انتم تقولوا في الإذاعة كاننا مواطنين مش كاننا ما بعرفين حاجة اسمها المواصفات المكاين. We know it very well. We know it very well. لكن نحن ما في مجال بتاعنا. اوكي نمسك الفرن ساكت ده مع العيش يا جلوريا. الفرن ده المفروض دول يشتغل في عامل اللي بيشتغل في الفرن ده. سؤال بتاعي بيقول الشروط بتاعه شنو في عامل اللي بيشتغل في الفرن اللي بيجيب العيش كل يوم عشان ياكلوا. الشروط شنو؟ That's one question. Another question. انتوا عارفين الوزن بتاع ايش في افران بتاع جوبا انتوا عارفين ده وزن كم يا جلورا؟
اوكي.
الليله دي تجيب في لذا ولا قبلناك او تجري اقوى قوي.
انا ما بجري.
شكرا سلطان جوزيف.
انا ما بجري.
نحن حقيقه بلا دارين قيادات زيتكم ده تجي في لذا.
شكرا.
And I appreciate this young boy Mr. McGavin. في topic ده.
نعم.
كويس. إذا كان انتوا عارفين الوزن بتاع ليه ولا ده بيكون كويس بتعلنوا. coming to سكر ولا بياتو انتم عندكم وزن ويز بتاع الوزن ده انتوا عارفين. There are 3 questions to you and I want you to answer them in a good way. The last one أنا دايرك أنت في حاجات أنا ما بكلم في الإذاعة. أنا ما بكلم في الإذاعة. أنا بيجي one day and I will just write my name and go to you in your office and I will tell you. Thank you very much.
شكرا. نعم.
شكرا.
نبدأ توهل بأسئلة بتاع سلطان جوزيف.
اوكي يا سلطان جوزيف شكرا كتير. انا مبسوط انه انا اسمع صوتك كمان. معلش اني تجيت ما لقانا لكن انا داير اقول مكتب بتاعك مكتب بتاعنا مفتوح. انت بتجي وبتكتب اسمك وتقول لي سلطان جيمس. لو ما لقيتني لكن هم بدوني الاسم ورقم بتاعك عشان نعمل لك موعد وانت لازم تجي. لكن انت ويلكم. my office is open always. السبب شنو؟ لانه we really need الفيدباك منكم لانه فعلا زي ما انت قلت انا ممكن بكون قاعد في جوا هناك وانا ما اعرف شنو بيحصل لكن انتوا الناس اللي برا هو عيون بتاعنا. المواصفه بتاع الايش موجود فعلا. مواصفة ايش موجود واحنا قاعدين نعمل انسبكشن في الفرن برغم انه في مقاومة مرات من ناس تانيين. ده شغل بتاع يعني تدخل انه مرات في مقاومة لكن احنا قاعدين نبذل جهد بتاعنا انه اي فرن لازم المواصفه موجود انه يفترض الايش لو ايش مثلا ايش انجليزي ايش بلدي يفترض وزن حقه بكون في حاجات ده كله في المواصفه. لكن انا بشكرك انه انت بتديني فكره انه انا تاني اراجع مع ناس حقي عشان احنا برضو تاني we do because they do inspection every 3 months واحنا to make sure انه احنا لازم نenforce انه وزن تعيش خليه يكون ياهو نفس الوزن في المواصفه. بالنسبه للاوزان الموجود في السوق احنا قاعدين نعمل انسبكشن كله. ايفن انت لو لاحظت في التلفزيون بتاع SSBC في الشريط انه في اعلان من شهر 1 ده هيعملوا تاني تفتيش وهيعملوا برضو confirmation بتاع weight and measures النازل قاعدين يستخدموها اللي هو صح ولا ما صح to do calibration to make sure انه بيكون صح. بس مرات لما المفتشين يجي في السوق الناس بيقوم بيطلعوا الوزن اللي احنا دايرينه لازم يشتغل. اول ما ناس يقلب ظهرهم الناس بيرجعوا لكوبايه وكده. بعدين في كونسبت تاني احنا كجنوبيين يعني مرات نيجي نلقى انه زول بيقول بشوف انه اخيرا نشتري الروس بكوبايه ما بكيلو، وهو قاعد ينسى انه ممكن يقول لك ده كيلو بتاع الروس، ده كيلو تجنجارو، ده كيلو تاع عدس، وقاعد ينسى انه حجم بتاع حاجات ده برابراو. يعني الروز ده صغير شوية، عدس أصغر، ما ممكن نفسه كوباية ده بكون كيلو تروز، بكون كيلو عدس، بكون كيلو كده. فأنا بنقول أحسن خلينا يستخدموا كيلو الوزن اللي عنده كفين ده الحاجة اللي احنا دايرينه. فبس مرات الناس كمان هم ما دايرين كيلو ده ومن داير كوباية ومن داير كده، أو في ملوى ما جرادل. ده الحاجة اللي احنا عاملينه. لكن شكرا عشان ده ملحوظة كويس. أنا هقدر أقعد مع التيم حقي ونتأكد إنه في شنو قاعد يحصل في السوق.
نعم.
شكرا.
ناخذ مكالمة تانية. اي راديو. ايوه. Good evening أستاذ تولفوك. نعم قدم.
أنا بكلم إنت وأنا بكلم من البريف من الاستوديو.
شكرا. شكرا.
كمان نتكلم كمان من كان قاعدين فوق. يلا أنا داري مثلا ولا البسيط بس.
قدم.
السيد الأونربل نيكا جيت في الاستوديو، وكمان أنا دكتور خليك الجيب في اليوم الليلة عشان نسمع حاجات علاقة المكتب بتاعي. معلوم عشان أعمل البتاع يكون ضعيف. ليه أنا بقول كده؟ أنا عاملة بتاع تمتيش بتاع البداية يكون مدن بتاع لأنه الحاجة ده زمن السودان تعملوه بدون كبر عشان شغل مفاجئ، عشان تلقى الدليل وتلقى المواطنين كيف يعني يشوف بالتجاريات بالمختلف الوزن. عشان انتم في جنوب السودان لو حاجة بعملوه تقول من المكتب وفي يعني شغال مع ناس بمشي برا بقول بكرة عندنا عاملة كده ده يعني كسر ما شغل.
اوكي.
خليكم عشان انتم لو انت تعمل حملة ما توريه وين لا قرار بنفسك وقرار ده يعني بيجي مفاجأة عشان كده بقول قرار بس يعني في مثل ممكن يكون فوق قرار، لكن لو انت عامل فلان بكره عندنا عاملة عشان يكون ده ما قرار ده يعني ده يعني شغل زي الإعلان.
اوكي.
شغل ما فوق إعلان.
شكرا.
نمرة 2 ده مثال لانه في عندنا البلد زي الكرادين وكيف كلمة مجنون على هناك انتم عندكم الاستاب القاعدين هناك عشان عملوا شكل انتم قاعدين تعملوا ده لانه زمن كان يعني حاجات الاكل، لكن هنا ما متاكدين هل يا طريقة عشان يكون الناس بتاعنا هو الناس الشغالين في الاتجاه يكون حاجات يعني ماسك المسؤولية بتاع
مواصفات
البوداوي السير.
نعم.
أنا ما بعرف.
اوكي.
لكن يا طريقة عشان يكون أنا بعرفه.
شكرا.
كيف يعني عشان لو أنت زول المواطن تلقى حاجة زي ده في الدكان في 3 شوال 4 شوال كيف يا طريقة عشان أنت تمشي للمحفظ للمكتب بتاعكم عشان أنت تدولهم معلومة عشان تقول في دكان كده مربط كده يكون حاجات يعني شغل بتاع مدن بتاع.
شكرا جزيلا. شكرا جزيلا. نودي فرصة لضيوف بتاعي في داخل الاستوديو سنجواب. نعم قدم.
اوكي. شكرا لادفايس بتاعك انه هنا لما نعمل الكامبين يفرض نعمل الكامبين ده وإحنا ما منوري الناس. ايسا هنا بنمشي ما منوري الناس، لكن طبعا الكامبين كان بيشيل 2-3 معناته اوتوماتيك بعرف، لكن ده برضه كويس. ده بينبهنا انه كيف أنا بيكون عنده استراتيجيات تاني عشان بعمل بدا also to make sure انه زي ما انا كلمة انا ما اجي اشتغل براو، انا اجي اشتغل مع institutions تانيين اللي يساعدوا عنا. and this is why عندنا معنا CID معنا economic security they also have to help us on this. and usually انا اجي كلم في حاجة ظاهرة انا شفته انه زول واحد برا في دكان او برا في سوبر ماركت بيكلم انا موظف تا مواصفات. ده حاجة نقدر نقوله لناس الدكاكين ولا سوبر ماركت ولا even لمواطنين انه كان زول لجا لقيت واحد ما ترودو and even كانوا درامو شنو it is better to كيلو شيليتا في بوليس and then we will know what to do because in a team algija fi inspection ma bijazol wahid at least min temeni le fog be mafihum economic security be mafihum police protection police ukida ukaman mun bijaba waraga authorization letter min director bitam DG bitam bugulom I have authorized this team yanana added musuliya le team de shane amulu taftish inte lo shaif in wita inda mushkila mumkin taqulum ana ma der taftish da baada huma bishilu ismak biyakhdu ijraat tani ihna nishufi ihna bnama shu ite indak hak falazim ma fi zol bijaleta bidun waraga tabiro sign wita bayin tarikh de halde lanu ihna binama waraga de kullu 3 shuhur ashan ma yahsal forging li awraq bitana so lo zol jaleta واحد بس قالوا زلت ستاندرد معلش ده ما زلت ستاندرد ده البروسيديرز انا دير كده كنعرفه سو لانه اصلا الانسبكشن دي او نفس الانسبكشن من زمن السودان لحد زمن تحسا انا من ضمن الناس اللي اشتغل من زمن السودان لحد زمن تحسا so we are still doing the same thing but thank you for the advice
yeah lo baro kaman gasal contribution bita muwatinin
yo yeah muwatinin ne yere guleku minu بمناسبة مكتب بتاعنا National Bureau of Standard is open الفكرة البس مرات قاعد يكون شوية صعب إنه الناس بيفتكر إنه كان مثلا إنه جاي في بيرو he has to meet the executive which is this is where it can meet executive and then it is like maybe the executive is not around maybe she's in another meeting and you go back like you didn't find anyone lakini anaweza gulita lo inda kaya maaluma in the case inda kaya haja taali le biro gulinta der nas bita technical operation or quality assurance انت تبلغ خبر دلهم هم بودوك انه انت لازم تمشي وين عشان يساعدوك لكن بيرو مفتوح انت عندك حق تجي لإدارة بتاع بيرو وتقولنا عندي مشكلة كده او انا شكيت في دكان كده بعدين احنا بنطلع الناس جروب بيمشوا عشان يعملوا انسبكشن في الدكان ده even مرات بيجينا كيسز من بوليس يعني في ناس حصل لهم كيسز ومنفتح بلاغ بوليس بيحول ناس دي لنا بيجي يشيلوا تيم ويعملوا انسبكشن and then وكان دير تحليل ولا حاجة and then we give the right advice للبوليس so المكتب مفتوح ما تخاف even كان ما في حاجة تبذر تعرف معلومة عن مواصفات انت تعرف مواصفات اي زول في مواصفات جاهز تعالي بس في إدارة هو بوديك للمعلومة اللي انت دايره هو بوديك في ديبارتمنت اللي يفترض انت تاخد فوقه معلومة
نعم ناخذ مخالمة تاني برا راديو نعم ارجع في 09 وايد ولا 22 9 في زمن بتاسا Georgia James. Thank you so much for joining us live from WOW and for watching this show as well. iRadio.
Madrama James.
Yes, Joseph.
Good evening, my brother.
Good evening. How are you?
And good evening to the guests in the
evening.
Evening. And good evening to the audio of iRadio. My question is simple. It's like this. South Sudan civil servants are not being paid monthly. Is it the workers, the workers of South Sudan from the Bureau of Standards, they are being paid or not? If they are paid, it's okay. If they are not paid, where are they surviving? Also, I want to ask second question on the laboratory. So is it equipment is there in the borders, in our borders from Kenyan border, Ugandan border, in terms of Kaya or Lumani or Nadapal, and in the national airport?
Okay.
That is two questions.
Thank you very much, Joseph.
يا شكرا ومساء الخير كمان يا جوزيف من واو
من منوكي جوبا
من منوكي انا كان اسمه قال من واو
جو جيمس في فيسبوك وتصل
اوكي so Joseph شكرا كتير payment of the staff salary طبعا زي ما انت قلت انه جنوب السودان السالاريز لسه but at the end of the day the staff لازم يكون عنده incentive from the little we have or the finances giving us we have to make sure that we incentive the staff ده عشان مون بيشتغل ده حاجة واحدة أنا بقدر بقوله لك about the labs we are having the headquarter lab في جوبا وعندنا lab في نيمولي and in the future plans we will see also some of the places that we will need to put our labs. But let me tell you the truth. People think that unless labs mojud fi kullu makan, no, that is not the thing. We have our own procedures of taking samples from different places or different offices, and then we can do the analysis even at the headquarters or at Nimule. It depends on how we do, because we have the procedures, and this is where even you can find us, even sometimes we want to confirm something, we can even take a sample from South Sudan and send it to another country far. But it just depends on the procedures. But actually we have the headquarters lab in Juba, and we have a lab in Nimule, and we are also working that in the future we'll be having lab in accordance to places like in Wow, because we have a lot of borders also on the other side, so that we address these ones. And also we are planning also to have some of the mobile equipments for testing some of the things that we can do it quickly at the same time. And if you don't mind, you will still have the privilege to come to the bureau to also, if you want to see our labs, you can see our labs, because sometimes people assume that we don't have labs, but we have the labs, and you are welcome to come to the bureau. If you want to see the labs, we can take you through the labs and you can see them.
Now, what is the capacity of this lab that in Juba, and at the same time Nimule, whether it has also the ability to test what really the Bureau of Standard want?
Microbiology lab, and we have the chemistry lab, but in it there is a different parameters to be tested. When we want to test fish, there's different parameters. When we want to test milk, there is different parameters, depends on the standard and the methods, but usually that is what it is. And we have the equipments and all those, and also although it is not something to be hide also, we were working with some of the development partners who are also helping us on issue of equipment, and maybe within this month also we will be receiving some of the equipments also that is brought to us by FAO, which we are supposed to be handed to us last month, but due to some technical issues it will be handed to us now to add on the equipments we have. And usually when we bring those equipments, we will be having also another training to our staff, especially to issues to do with certification, accreditation of parameters and of the staff themselves.
All right. Yeah. Let's now pick two more calls as we are almost coming to the end of our conversation. Hi, radio. Hi, radio.
Hello.
Naam, Emmanuel Paladon.
Yes.
Mabatal. Alhamdulillah, ke mauna. Naam, gadam.
Ana kuishi. أنا في فيلم وقتل.
أهلا وسهلا.
تعرف أنا بعد مرات أنا جيت في الصورة، أنا قاعد بقال في الناس ستاندرد بيرو. أساسا.
مشكلة وين؟
ليه أنا بكلم كده؟ هنا بيجي جو حاجة الإكسباير يستوى وبعد شوية بتطلع برا في السوق. فجأة تيجي صورة. جينا في باباريا يعني جميع حاجات على expired اللي كان مفروض expired كان بيشيلوا برا لكن ما باينه حاجات اللي في السوق. هذا كان تجا في السوق هنا كان تقال أنا كده تيل اللي بيدور بالبرا يكون تيل جوا وصودا في فوقه وكده ولسه حاجات كله expired لكن في السوق ناس قاعدة تيجي وناس قاعدة سوق وجاتو تتاليجو حاجات اللي expired بيجيرو في كورتون تاني يعني بيجوتو كثير في كورتون لا ما expired يعني إنت نماني كثير كورتون دي كثير بيجي تبي جاكتا على جوا هناك expired.
نعم.
so ده حاجات اللي في قاعد حصل.
هسا وصل زمان سؤال بتاعك شنو؟
أنا ما أعرف إيتاون في وجود هناك إيتاون قاعد كنترول وجود بيعطي تريجا. hal ita kun sai lu checking ale ita on gite ga jana da expire wala ke wala ita on ita man ita na kitu kidogo albes kana na haja expire udile ta haja ita nsibo arabia gwira kelija.
Naam, shukran.
Kelija lana dor kelita ke jua bana beheta lanu haja betir ale expire bisa sudah. Shukran.
Shukran jazilan akhir mukana ma radio.
Okay.
نعم في زمن بتاسع بودي بس فرصة لمكالمة زي بيجي توال في نهاية بتاع مناقشة بتاعنا 09 واحد واحد ولا 2 9 6 9 8 6 هاي راديو. نعم منو؟
أنا بشري الدنيا في السيرة.
أهلين وسهلين أهلين وسهلين.
يا بكي سلامات على.
يا أهلين وسهلين.
معلش كمان خد. أيوة.
السلام عليكم.
عليكم السلام.
نسلم كل المستمعين.
نعم منو اتصل من وين؟
نعم ستيفن من شركات.
ستيفن من شركات قدم.
طبعا بالنسبة طبعا يعني ده أي حاجة بيجلده. أي حاجة بيجلده. طبعا يعني بالنسبة للناس اللي بيمثلوا في الدور بتاع الناس المغايب. يعني بيقول لك أنا الناس بتاع المغايب. أنا داير ما أعرف يعني يقدر أنت بتعرف كيف دول بتاع المغايب. حتى لو ناس مغايب يجوا زي 5 نفر 6 نفر يمكن يقول لي برضه يجوا بنفس المجموعة ده يمثلوا ناس بتاع مغايب. أنا داير ما أعرف يعني كيف أنت بتعرف دول ناس مغايب وإذا كان بيجي بورق يعني الورقة لازم تكتب فيه شنو. يعني حاجة ما يثبت يعني في ماركة بتاع ناس مغايب.
أوكي.
شكرا جزيلا. نعم أخونا ستيفن من شركات يكون في المكالمة بتاعنا في زمن بتاسع ونبدأ بسؤال نطلع من إيمانويل بنادول من ماونا.
اوكي إيمانويل بنادول شكرا كتير وانا شوية بحتذر لك انه انت آسف انه احنا نقول في مواصفات انت قاعد تكون آسف لكن انا داير اقول لك انه انا وريت انه ده مسؤولية جماعية لنا كلنا عشان to take responsibility. ده مسؤولية بتاع مواصفات عشان نعرف انه حاجات ده ما في لكن انت كمواطن او consumer what is your responsibility. الحمد لله انت تقول انه حاجات ده في عشان كده انا قلت المكتب بتاعنا فاضي وانت لازم تبلغ واكسباير ده ما ضروري تبلغ بس للمواصفات. انت ممكن تبلغ للمواصفات ممكن تبلغ لاقرب نقطة بتاع بوليس ممكن تبلغ لاقرب مؤسسة حكومية اللي تبقدر رافق وكان قاعد في حاجة يني تانو غلط. so usually الزول اللي بيبيو حاجة الغلط ده وما بكون واضح عشان الناس بعملوا زي ما انا وريتك انا قرار نعمل تفتيش ممكن الناس كان عارف قال لي امنا انه ناس مواصفات جي ما بقدر يدوسوا حاجات دي لكن انت الغاي انه في زمن لان ما في دي دورتك شنو لانه انت ممكن باينا جدي سالك انت ما وري قال تجرا وري تبرا بيرا تكينغال ولا في حاجه اني زي انا بيشيلوا دورت انا بدون انا ذاته بكلم قال مثلا دي ايمانويل ولا دي منيا ونس كلام دي we just to take our procedures and احنا بناخد so it is a collective responsibility for all of us. Let's be people who give information. Itakana ino haja zede weri lena kan ma lena weri le police. At the end of the day we will see how we can take those procedures. Hal ihna gadina mlo verification fi hudud ihna gadina mlo verification for hudud gadina mlo verification for hudud fi muasafat fi jamarik fi trade fi institutions tanin inna gamulu. This is what we do and usually ukois kaman marat is muatin كلتا رافي محلات الحاجات دي عمل فوق شانتا باينو بالضبط شغل دي قرا كيف مرات دي احنا بنسمع او بيحصل بيتنا لكن this is why I was saying even our institution is open for everyone to come and see it. You want to see the lab, you want to see how the procedures of the standard is done, the certification is done. We have 6 directorates, industrial science and industrial science, metrology, and then also we have legal science, we have technical operation, which we have a standard certification and laboratories and inspection. So in Total Bureau you will know more about it. About how we identify the staff, as I said, they don't go 1, 2, 3. And the most important, they go with a letter of authorization. Waraga Katifufogoga, this is an authorization from the technical operation DG. These are my staff, they are coming for inspection. Waraga de bukunfogo khitim, waraga de lazim to buy no valid date, al huwa daiman 3 months.
نعم. نعم في 30 ثانية بذب رسالتك شنو لأسرة الكان أطفال بتومن قاعد بيستفيد في لبن بزادنا
أنا داير أقول للناس ديل إنه إحنا نان ما معناته نان كله كعب، لكن البيش نمبر اللي إحنا الخطيناه في النوتيفيكيشن ده هو كعب، لكن أنت عندك لسه خيارات بتاعت البرودكتس تاني، وما تنسى أنت عندك في دكاترة بتاع أطفال وفي دكاترة بتاع nutrition. You have to go to them and also they will advise you for another alternatives. And also the other thing, if you feel like maybe there is issues زي ما قبل أخوي هنا قال إنه في زول قال في جنا ودي لغاية نيروبي, it is always good to take these children to medical checkup because it is really important.
Thank you so much, Honorable Gloria Nyoka, for coming. In case of anything, we shall still get back to you, but we appreciate your time with us.
Thank you.
All right, dear listen up to here. We have come to the end of our first hour.